So what was your actual introduction into Christian hip hop then?
So, around the
I
time,
know in September 2005, The Truth, he released that album, right? The Faith.
yeah, the faith,
And
yeah,
you were really into that album.
yeah. So around around like after the 106 and part time and all that, and I'm making my rounds, doing my thing. The Passion of the Christ came out, and I saw it and felt some type of way about it. Felt compelled. Felt like, yo, what do I do with this information? My man, who's my young boy in my rap group, because I had my own rap group back home who I started with called Divided Minds, and he was in it, and he was like, he knew that once I get on, he's on. Like he was like 15, 16. I'm getting him in the clubs to be my hype man. So he backs away and he gave his life to Jesus. Like he just left everything behind. I'm trying to talk him out of it. Like, yo, son, you can still rap. Like, and he's like, nah, I'm giving it up. Boom. Um, he's the one who introduced me to Christian rap. You tell me Christian rap, I'm gonna be like, get the hell out of my face. Like, I don't want to hear none of this. And it was that dude, the Truth. He played one of his projects, and I'm like, yo, he had the multis, he had the punches, like he was dope. Like he was one of us, but he was doing Christian rap. And that was my first introduction. So I kind of like, I didn't understand the content. I didn't want to understand the content because I guess it would make me think through my life and what I was doing. And of course, I would feel conflicted. So
You weren't ready yet.
I wasn't ready yet, and I didn't want to be ready yet. But I would still, like, I'm such a student, and I like to find somebody that can inspire me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Not that I ever bite or draw from, but if you make me feel like I got to step my game up, I'm gonna listen to you. So I would listen to him, and he was nice. So, bro, I'd be smoked out and cleaning my room or something and listening with a Christian rap CD on. I remember one day, me and my manager blowing a blunt on the way to the Bronx to go record. And my man took me to the Truth's concert. And I had the CD at that point. I'm like, yo, you gotta listen to this Christian dude, son. I put it on and we both blown a blunt like, yo, man, he need to stop doing this Christian stuff. He need to come on his side. Like, that's how we felt. Like, how could we corrupt this dude and get off it? But yeah, his music was powerful. It was dope. It was actually very, very dope. And I had, I can't lie and act like I was tapping into Christian rap and be like, he was the only dope one. It's just
Right.
my man played me a couple records and this dude stood out to me.
Right. And that was like kind of like planting the seed at that time, even though like, you weren't ready yet. Right.
Yeah, it absolutely was planting the seed. And then just what I was going through in my life started to get chaotic. And, I had told you earlier that I wasn't one of them kids because I had a girlfriend. But once me and her broke up and I'm back on the block, they already established, you know what I'm saying? So it's open for me. And so I kind of consider myself a late bloomer. And then really like, yo, man, hip hop had a really I will never ever blame hip hop as a whole, but the type of hip hop I liked really had a bad influence on me. So I come from where, there's wolves here, but I wouldn't say I was one of them yet. I could be one of them, but I wasn't getting into trouble, wasn't hustling, wasn't none of that. But what do? None of them rap. I'm the mouthpiece. So now I'm rapping about stuff I don't do. And I'm like their mouthpiece, like, yeah, go and talk that. And I'm talking like slide through with the pop, and I ain't never even hold the pistol at that point. But then now it's like, yo, the way the game was at the time, it's like you had to be that. You couldn't just rap about it and not be it. Like
you had to live your raps.
You would get you had to live your raps. And the thing was, I had the heart in the hands. I just ain't really have the. So now when they just like, yo, Datin, I got this for the low. And I'm like, I don't need a gun, but you know what? Now when I rap about it, it's real. Yo, Datin, here, take a hit. And I'm like, damn, I don't smoke. I don't drink. But now when I rap about it, it's real. Now I'm smoking. And then same thing with drinking, same thing with hustling. And before you know it, um, it's like getting trapped in this movie role. It started as an act, and now it really becomes me. Now I'm addicted. Now
Life imitates art.
and yeah, life imitates art. And then yeah, I just got so immersed in that joint and kind of like was down a dark path. Was wilding, was about to shoot one of my mans over something stupid, bringing a pistol with me to go see him. I'm just like, who am I? I have this moment where I kind of always say it's like God slapping me. So I watched the movie The Passion of the Christ, and I'm just like, wasn't religious. I really didn't have a super religious background. My parents were Catholic, and of course, did the sacraments, and they had you do them joints for like religious reasons, like stupid stuff. Like if you don't get baptized, you'll have nightmares as a kid. Stuff that don't even make sense, even according to Catholicism, but just superstition that Puerto Ricans will have. You can't get married if you don't do all your sacraments. So you in a Catholic church, so do that. So I did that, but I never learned none of it. It never was anything to me. So now I watch this movie, I feel like convicted, like that. What do I do with this information? I'm in the back of my man's whip, they driving, and I'm with two good dudes too. It wasn't none of the wolves. And my mouth spoke for myself. I'm like, yo, I feel like God is calling me. They took it as like, I'm talking about like death. And they're like, yo, God forbid. I'm like, nah, I feel like, nah, not that I'm gonna die. I feel like God's calling me. And then from that moment on, I feel like God ain't leave me alone. Another time, I'm blunted and I got a blunt in my mouth and I got a unloaded pistol and I'm just in the mirror and just clicking. Clack, 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 clack. And I just had this epiphany, like, yo, who are you? What is you doing, bro? Like, and it's like I lost myself. The kid that my parents raised, he was dead and gone. Like I felt some type of way of having a reputation of, I wanted to be a good dude, and it's just like that's Datin. He a shooter. That's Datin. He'll don't play with him. Well, I'm only 5'8". You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, I gotta be the first one to turn up, so you don't think it's sweet over here. And yeah, it's just those things kind of made me be like, yo, man. And then now I'm trying to be famous, and I'm hearing from famous people that they don't want to be there. I'm like, yo, life is not making sense right now. That's going to put you like into a depression. And yeah, that's when things started to change for me.
I mean, how did that feeling feel? Because it's like you don't change overnight. So you must have felt so conflicted. Like,
Yeah, my journey, bro, you have people like my friend surrendered everything to Christ and just was over it. Like he just left the block, left everything. Not me. It was a very long process of like God even sending, bro, I couldn't escape him. I would go push up on a shorty and give her my CD. I gave this one shorty, my man invites me to his, like he did like there's like North Bear Stadium. I wonder if that thing is even there anymore. Anyways, North Bear Stadium, he was performing outside and I go to support. I see old girl from the block. I give her my CD and my CD had my number on it. And she called me. And I'm like, oh, this is easy. Boom. What is she? She a Christian trying to talk to me about God. It's just everywhere I would turn, bro. I was having conversations about Christ. Um, and then even like to kind of bring everything full circle, there's like one girl in the hood who was like the one. Like everybody, she was the prettiest girl in school. Everybody liked her. She was bad, but she wasn't no thotty. She wasn't out on the streets. Like she wasn't for the streets. And I end up getting into a conversation with her and things start, we start kicking it and boom, what do you know? Like she used to serve God and walked away for a little while. Now she's trying to get back. So we having these conversations. And it's just like, yo, I couldn't, it was slow. It was conflicting. I remember times where I would like get on my knees and beg God to leave me alone because I wanted to continue to do what I was doing. Because I thought really there would be some sort of like, I forget what everybody's saying about it not being fulfilling. I gotta find out for myself. But man, I felt like God hunted me down and sent different people that ain't even know each other all at one time. And I would say it probably started in 2004, and then all the way in 2007, I've just finally said, yo, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done fighting. I'm done running. And
So what does that look like in 2007? At that time, you decide I'm just going to be a Christian rapper, or like you
it
pursue.
it really had nothing to do with rap. So I had some corny stipulation with myself. Like I was just like, yo, by 2008, I said, in 2008, if I don't get a deal by then, I'm gonna quit rap. It was stupid. I was mad young, but I'm just like, if I don't get signed by 2008, I'm over. And in 2007, all of this happens. So in my mind, I'm not probably not gonna rap no more. And yeah, and I definitely ain't want to be no Christian rapper. Like heck no, I ain't want to be no Christian rapper. In the beginning, I tried to make deals with God, like, yo, okay, so, all right, I'll just say the B word and the N word, but I won't talk about killing nobody, and I'll just rap for the hoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll just rap for the hoes. God, could I do that? And it's just, no, I ain't feel no peace about that. Okay, all right. So I won't rap for hoes. I'll rap for I'll do love joints and still use the N word. What about that? Trying to negotiate, and it's just, nah, I didn't feel a peace. I just really felt like God was like, put that thing down and just to seek him. And that's what ended up happening. I just kind of, when I was like, yo, I'm done, um, music wasn't even in my mind. Like I was like, I'm over it. But I had, prior to becoming a Christian, I signed this contract with this studio with hustle money. My man put up, I had already stopped hustling because my manager was telling me, yo, you too close to making it and you gonna get bumped. I was selling perks, I was moving weight of weed, just weight. Wasn't doing no hand to hands. So now I'm with pounds, 2 pounds, 3 pounds, selling QPs, half a pound, anyways, and then moving Percocets. You get in some big trouble. So I had stopped doing that. I meet this hustler dude. He puts up bread for me to record this album that I had been promoting forever called The Grand Entrance. Um, as I'm recording this stuff, God is dealing with me. It's like everything that was coming out sounded like a Christian hip hop album, dog. And I had no intent to be. I was just speaking about what I was going through in my life. I had this company at the time called simplyflow.com. They were there to document the everything, me in the studio. And by the third session, fourth session, they dropped out. It was like, yo, son, we not coming no more. I'm like, why? Their videos are doing good. And they like, yo, man, you making a Christian rap album. And I was like, I'm making a Christian rap album, and I'm listening. I'm like, yeah, this sounds like a freaking Christian rap album. But so I do all the songs. It absolutely sounds like a Christian rap album. But I felt like I needed to take a break. Like I don't get to talk about this God that I don't know like that yet. Let me put this down and let me focus on fixing my life because my life is so screwed up. So
Mm,
I said, I'll put this out later, and it never came out. I'm actually gonna put it out like this year as like on even.com, this unreleased album from 2008. But yeah,
wow.
yeah,
So wait, at that time, are you writing the hooks for the famous Christian rapper at that time yet?
that
Not
would be
yet.
later.
Got
That
you.
was
Okay.
later. Yeah. So yeah, I just decided to put it down, and I think that's when I felt the most peace. I always say what it felt like was, there's this scene in one of the Avengers movies, one of the Marvel movies, where the Black Widow's running away from the Hulk, and they look like they're like in a boiler room, and he's
Yeah.
just tearing everything down, chasing her as she's running. And that's how I felt like God was chasing me down, and I just got tired of running. I'm like, all right, I give up. What do you got for me? What do you got for me? Because none of this is fulfilling me. I made a big, long checklist of stuff that's supposed to complete my life. From the girl, like who gets to say that you bagged the girl? Like I did. I got the chain I wanted. I wasn't people, and I don't want to sound like I'm boasting, but just giving you real like perspective. my clothes, just from hustle money. I bought a house stupid young. My clothes and my chain. I would take pictures with friends in the movies and in a liner form because I don't know who he is, but he looked famous. So it was stuff like that. And these are things that I wanted. And it's like, what's next? Because this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it.
It wasn't filling up your cup.
It wasn't filling up my cup, bro. Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy, man. So how long was that process until you finally decided that, yeah, I do want to be a Christian rapper and this is the route that I want to go now?
I think for kicks, I wrote 2 verses, and my man Lionel, the young dude who was my little man, is now my big bro in the faith, and he kind of was holding me accountable. And there's another crazy story about somebody else that was holding me accountable that used to be down with FYL. I gotta explain that because that's insane. But
Yeah, break
anyways,
that down.
it's like a full circle thing. But first, I'm gonna talk about the Christian rap thing. I wrote 2 verses for kicks, and my man was like, "Yo, them joints is dope," and I thought they was pretty dope too. So it went from, yo, they can sit it down, grow in your faith, to, yo, my man hosted an open mic. Yo, you should spit that at the open mic. And then when I spit it at the open mic and I saw the impact, I'm like, yo, I remember people saying like, yo, they want to, slide on the ops to my music. And now it's like, yo, this is uplifting people. Like this may be something I want to do, not for the sake of feeling like substituting, okay, I was trying to pursue a rap career here, let me do it here. It was more so, forget the rap career. I understand that I'm not gonna make as much money as I would over here. I understand that I'll probably never be as famous as I could have been over here, but I'm speaking life into people. And I had, listening to dudes like The Truth and all that, their music changed my life. You know what I'm saying? It really, it's like great conversations on beats that brought resolve and answers to questions I had. And what I wanted to do was mimic that. I wanted to bring the same type of healing that those other guys' music started to do for me. And I found a lot of amazing, dope Christian rappers, and their music was building me up. And I said, I want to do that. Not because I want to do that because I would just want to be on and scratch my rap itch, but I want to help people. And that's when I decided it was probably like 2010. And I made my debut on the famous Christian rapper that I was writing hooks for. He ended up letting me get a verse on his bonus joint. And then my man Bizzle, who I ended up signing with, who became really big.
Right, God Over Money.
Yeah, God Over Money. He featured me on one of his mixtapes. He had heard that, he kind of comes from the same background where the industry, writing for people, messing with Chameleonaire and Paul Wall, and we had similar backgrounds. So he's like, yo, let's do this record. So yeah, I made my debut on their projects, and I made up my mind that this is something that I was going to do for real.
Who's the famous rapper that you talking about?
So he actually deflected from the faith, and I kind of even don't want to say his name to give him clout because all he does is tear down the faith. So it's like, he's cool with me, we're cool, but he's a op. So it's like not my op, but he's a op to the faith. So it's like,
okay.
Yeah. I don't even want to, have anybody go look it. You know what I'm saying?
I got you.
At one point back then, he was famous. Now he's not anymore.